Okay, so this video is about my experience forging my first knife. As some of you know, I just moved to San Antonio, Texas, and I found a blacksmith on an exploratory walk in the downtown Pearl District of San Antonio. As I'm taking a walk downtown looking around, I see a building and it says Kaler Forge on the outside. I do a quick search on their website and I see that they offer knife making classes, both amateur and professional. So I walk in and I talk to them about the options and I purchase a railroad spike knife making class. First, they suit me up with a cool leather apron, and of course they talk to me a couple minutes on safety tips, and then we get right to work. The first thing we do was actually place the railroad spike in the forge itself to get it red hot. You need to get it super red hot to place it on the anvil and start hammering it out. So this is what takes the longest. They have lighter hammers and they have heavier hammers. If you're a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, and you're able to swing the heavier hammer for like an hour and a half at a time, it's going to speed up the process. Holding the head of the railroad spike with the special tongs and hammering out the blade on the anvil and making sure it's nice and flat and tapering off the edge, that was quite the learning curve, to be honest. Every time the knife cooled down or kind of went back to like a brown gray color, you had to throw it right back in the forge so that it would go super red hot, make it way more pliable. Once I finally get the shape of the actual blade itself, it's time to make the handle. So at this point, we put the whole spike back in the forge, get it super red hot. We put it in a vise, and then we put a bar that fits perfectly on the top of the railroad spike and twist it. Now this required consistent pressure while twisting the bar, and you'll get a nice, aesthetically pleasing and feeling handle. At this point, we bring it back over to the anvil and use the point, the rounded edge of the anvil, and a wooden bat to bend the handle to my personal liking. We use the wood bat because if you use the metal hammer, it'll smooth out those twists in the handle. Okay, once everything looks good to me, the blade is nice and tapered, the back of the blade is nice and straight, the handle is bent just how I like it, we shock it in a 5-gallon bucket of water. And apparently what this does is make the metal tighten up very hard, so it becomes a very hard and fully forged knife. Next, the blacksmiths take that knife and they put it on a series of grinder belts, and they grind it down. They make the blade just absolutely razor sharp, and they take even polishing belts and make it unbelievably beautiful. Just so polished, so amazing looking. I mean, look how cool this is. And wait, I am not done yet. On my walk downtown, I came across a farmer's market. In this farmer's market, there was a leather worker. I showed the leather worker, his name was Abram, the knife. He said he could make me a custom leather sheath for it. How cool is that? He said it was gonna take about 6 weeks because of how busy he is. But I looked at all of his products and they looked top quality. So I said, go for it. Well, he just called me and told me that it was ready to pick up, and he was nice enough to explain all the work that he did on it. So let's take a look.
All right, so this is a knife that was custom ordered here, and just kind of wanted to show it off. This leather is from a company called Horween, and it's a really cool charcoal gray leather. It's gonna patina really awesome. So this is a little different. You don't see this very often where the top kind of wraps around. And I wanted to do that with this knife because of the kind of knife that it is. This is a railroad spike. So it's kind of rustic, kind of rough, really cool looking. And a lot of times when you're walking by something, you'll walk by and you'll scratch it up, whatever, you know, especially if you're walking by your car or something like that. And I didn't want that to happen, so I wanted to be able to cover that so that way you wouldn't scratch anything as you're walking by. It gives it extra protection. It's a very cool knife.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Tinkerman Leatherworks.
Tinkerman Leatherworks. Thank you so much. My name's Abram.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate your business. Thank you.
Wow, Abram, thank you so much for this leather sheath. It was well worth it. I am so happy that I have this unbelievably cool custom leather works here, and this knife that I made at the Kaler Forge. I just moved to San Antonio, Texas. I already feel like I have a memorabilia piece that I'm gonna have for the rest of my life. Maybe hand it down to my son, maybe go on a hunting trip with it, or maybe I'll just keep it as a display knife. But boy, is it sharp. I'll see you next time. Matt the Butcher out.